Hello, St. Joey's families. How are you today? Welcome to our third story of this week in preparation for ANZAC Day on Saturday. Today's story is called Simpson and His Donkey. Now, this is a great story and it tells us or recollects information about Private John Simpson, or John Simpson Kirkpatrick, if we use his full name. Now, his story is something that is well told around all of Australia. It's well told even in Turkey as well when we talk about Private Simpson. And here is a story. So, Simpson and His Donkey by Mark Greenwood. Jack and Billy grew up in the back lanes of Tyne Dock, where a river carried great ships out to sea. During summer holidays, they led donkeys along the seaside trail for a penny a ride. From morning till twilight, they paced the sounds of South Shields, whistling gaudy tunes for passengers balanced on the donkeys' backs. In winter, Jack carted milk to support his family. With the ring of his bell, he worked the cobbled streets, taking payment with his frozen fingers. In the harbour, freighters and tugs sounded off with toots and whistles. Jack dreamed that one day he would sail away on a great adventure. "There's no need to worry," he told Billy. "I'll not forget ye." At 17, Jack signed up as a stoker on a ship bound for Australia. He bet his way through the bush with a swag and a billy can. He cut cane and rode the boundary of a cattle station. He laboured in coal mines, then joined the gold rush. But Jack never dug a fortune from the ground. Instead, he returned to the sea. Down in the bowels of a steamship, Jack fed the furnace. I wish I was home, he thought. Every bird likes its own nest. Jack was enjoying a spell ashore when he heard the news that England and Germany were at war. He was quick to enlist in the army. It was a chance to do his duty for king and country, and the ticket home quicker than planned. Jack trained as a stretcher bearer, but the troops sailed for Egypt, not England, as he'd hoped. In the shadow of ancient pyramids, soldiers practiced for battle. Jack marched through the desert and treated mock wounded at a dressing station pitched among the palms. When Turkey entered the war, British commanders drew up plans to launch an invasion on the Gallipoli Peninsula. "You'll find out where I am when the Australians make a start," Jack wrote to his mother. I love the little kangaroo that they had smuggled into Egypt. On a moonless April morning, a fleet of destroyers steamed towards the Turkish coast. Steel hulls formed a line facing a landing point. Jack climbed down a rope ladder into a crowded rowboat. Pale-faced soldiers confessed their faith as the convoy approached the rugged, clay-faced cliffs. Enemy gunfire sparked from the scrub-covered ridges. Jack's heart pounded. "I wish I was home in canny old Shields," he whispered. At dawn, the boats grounded on a pebbled seabed. Turkish machine guns snickered, whipping up spouts of water. Jack felt the zip of a bullet pass by his head. He tumbled into the icy Aegean Sea and waded to shelter beneath an overhang. Soldiers stormed the beach under orders to secure higher ground. They fixed bayonets and charged up the Razorback ridges. Enemy artillery exploded overhead, showering the cove with fiery shrapnel. Exposed to bullet and bomb, Jack edged along narrow tracks to evacuate a constant stream of wounded to lifeboats that lined the shore. The first aid station at Hull Spit was unprepared for the mounting casualties. Stretchers soon became a scarce commodity. Jack was responding to a cry for help when he came upon a donkey cowering in a gully of pines. A shell burst high above, spitting out a hail of metal. Jack ignored the concussion of artillery and crawled across the shell-torn ground. "Bless ye, little fella," he whispered into a long, fluffy ear, and he christened his frightened friend Duffy. Within reach of a dozen enemy rifles, the soldier raised his bloodied arm. Jack leapt over craters, gouged into the battlefield, dodging shot and shell. "It doesn't do to linger in nasty spots like this," he said. Jack gently lifted his patient onto the donkey's back. He guided Duffy with a lead rope fashioned from field dressings and picked his way down the stony ravine. This was the first of many brave rescues. In sunshine or drizzling rain, Jack Simpson marched up Shrapnel Valley with Duffy by his side. They made 12 to 15 trips each day, carrying water to thirsty troops, returning with the soldier straddled over the donkey's back. At night, Jack guided Duffy by lantern light down the zigzag track and camped with an Indian artillery unit. The Sikh gunners named him Bahadur, bravest of the brave. Simpson and his donkey earned the admiration of all who watched them work. The colonel decorated Duffy's forehead with a Red Cross armband. "You are worth 100 men to me," he said. On the morning of May 19th, Turkish forces launched a fierce assault. It seemed a miracle that anyone could survive when the air was hazy with lead. "Snipers are busy in the gully ahead," warned a soldier. "It's hot as hell up there." "I'll be all right," said Jack with a wave. "Have breakfast ready when I get back." With the rising sun behind him, a Turkish soldier took aim and slowly squeezed the trigger. His target was leading a donkey up a steep incline at the junction of Dead Man's Ridge. The bullet struck Jack in the back and passed through his heart. Soldiers dragged their mate to the side of the track, and word passed down the line. Battle-weary men were misty-eyed when Duffy trudged down the valley alone. Indian gunners risked their lives to gather a wreath of poppies to decorate a wooden cross. A hush descended over the battlefield. In the maze of terraced dugouts, candles flicked like evening stars the night Jack Simpson was buried at Hull Spit. Jack rescued over 300 men during 24 days. Among them was an English soldier who grew up in the back lanes of Tyne Dock. "There's no need to worry," Jack had called out over the stutter of gunfire. "I'll not forget ye." Jack supported the wounded man to prevent him slipping from the donkey with Duffy trotting by his side. Jack smiled and whistled a gaudy tune and led Billy through the valley of death. Lest we forget. It's an amazing story, Simpson and his donkey. At the back of the book, it's got a very good, clear picture of the characters, as well as a map of the Gallipoli Peninsula. Billy Lowes. Able Seaman William Billy Lowes joined the Nelson Battalion Royal Navy. He was there to support the ANZACs who landed on April the 25th. He landed 4 days later on April the 29th. He realised that we used to play together as children, but I did not recognise Jack at the time, he said. Shot and shell were flying all around when Jack struck across my path and brought me in on his donkey. It's pretty amazing that he found his childhood friend on the battlefield, but in the chaos of what it would have been like in those first few days on Gallipoli, they didn't recognise each other. We're going to speak more about Gallipoli, and particularly about Gallipoli and the landings of Gallipoli in the next few days and over the next couple of books. And hopefully I'll have some photos to share with you as well. I was very, very lucky in 2015 at the centenary of the Gallipoli landings to see Private Simpson's grave, or his headstone, in Hull Spit. So I'm looking for the photo of that too to share with you. Hope you all have a fantastic evening. Enjoy yourselves. Do something nice for your parents. Maybe offer to do the dishes, or at least clean up your rooms, everybody. Have a wonderful day. See you later.